Introduce you to a very cute new member of our This Morning family. Stop it. Can we get a very nice drum roll, please? Yeah, lovely.
It's an adorable 8-week-old puppy. Here he comes.
And they called it
Stop it.
puppy
Thank you.
love.
I mean,
Oh, my goodness.
hi, lovely
Look
to
at
meet
this
you.
baby.
Vince, how are you?
Oh, it's like the Andrex.
Oh.
Hey. Oh, gorgeous.
You are so
Oh, well, welcome to the show. We've got...
Thank you.
You've got his own chair.
So
Thank you.
this, everyone, is a very important dog, right? So, and we say that because we don't know the dog's name yet. It's officially being enrolled as an autism assistant dog.
Look at him.
As of today, we're going to be hearing all about sort of basically the strenuous training regime a little bit later on. But here to tell us more about the charity this puppy works closely with is Jan Kiley from Dogs for Autism, alongside our resident vet, Dr. Scott, who's got a very personal connection to this story. So, Jan, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Tell
Thanks
us
for
a little
having
bit
us.
about this little fella.
So he was 8 weeks old yesterday. So it's his first official day as a trainee assistance dog.
They start that early, don't
They do, yeah, they do. So he lives with his puppy walker at the moment for the first bit of training.
adorable.
Ouch, don't eat me. Yeah. So
His
he's
little
a
face.
he's a yellow Labrador with a bit of fluff on
So
him.
tell us, how did you get involved with the charity?
So it was started by Hilary Armour,
Yeah.
who was an acquaintance of mine. I heard she'd started the charity, and got in touch with her and said, I'd like to be involved. Initially, I was going to do a few hours of volunteering, but
Yeah.
it sort of grew from that. Went and had a cup of tea with her to talk about it, and ended up having agreed to train one of the puppies, and left fully fledged, really, and part of it.
And
So-
how does it differ from some training? Like, you know, you see dogs in training all the time,
Yeah.
and so what difference will training to work with I presume a family or a child with autism?
Yeah, or an adult, actually.
Yeah.
We train for children and adults. So at the beginning, the training's very much the same. It's all about manners and teaching them what's acceptable and what isn't, but also giving them lots of interaction with lots of different people. Hi. And lots of sort of going to different places, but in a way that they're comfortable with. So we're very careful not to push them too far.
Yeah.
We'll just, very much read the puppy that we've got. And, then when they go into their sort of later training, he will learn to do things specifically for autistic people.
At what age will that happen?
Probably around 12 to 18 months.
Do you want to come to me? Is that the problem?
I think that's
Come on,
what he's
let's
trying to
go.
give away.
Love this way as well.
Oh, come on, let's go.
And what sort of issues can he help with then?
So he can help people with deep pressure therapy. Lots of autistic people like heavy weights on them, so they can use weighted blankets. I don't know if that's something
Yes.
you're aware of, but we can train the dog to do that in a particular way. So it's not just like cuddling your dog in front of the telly on your lap. It's very specific. So
It's more about pressure, isn't it?
it is. It's yeah.
In what way?
just-
How does that work?
It
That's so
just
interesting.
calms the proprioceptive
does.
system. Just brings everything back down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sort of almost organises the mind a little
Yep.
bit. That pressure really helps with particularly with children with autism.
How do you train them for that?
So that's really easy, to be honest, because most dogs want to lie on you quite happily.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it's finding out what the particular autistic partner they're going to be for needs. So some people would like them lying on their chest, some people like them on their legs or
Yeah.
their tummy. So we would, we use
interesting.
treats. It's all positive training, and we'd use treats to sort of praise them for being in the right position.
It's unbelievable. The waiting lists are full, aren't they?
Absolutely.
For these
full.
dogs.
Yeah, they are. They are. It's
So many people want one.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is a real personal story for you, isn't it, Doc?
It is. Yes, so I have two children who have autism. My son Jackson is 9, and he had speech disorder, which meant he didn't speak for the first 4 years of his life,
Yeah.
and has a bit of difficulty at school, just emotionally sort of regulating. And with our dog Ludo, we've really seen an improvement in his ability to be able to kind of relax and calm. You can see him there giving a good old
Ludo.
smooch to Ludo, and just having that sort of big dog to hug makes such a difference to him. Our youngest, Riley, is non-verbal, so she has gestalt sentences, so can speak a few little bits words, but not too much. And again, I think it's the companionship of dogs make a big difference. And then also, not something I've talked about hugely, but this is the first-year anniversary of my own personal diagnosis
Yeah,
for
you
autism.
were diagnosed last year,
I
weren't you?
was, and that came after my children's diagnosis, where I just saw some things in them that I could relate to as a child.
Yeah.
Quite unusual for this to be diagnosed as an adult.
It's funny because it's sort of not, because back when we were children, it wasn't really diagnosed.
diagnosis,
You
yeah,
see,
sure.
you were just seen as that sort of naughty, disruptive child
Yeah.
that didn't really sort of fit. And so many adult diagnoses come with. I've spoken to a lot of people who've said, you know, I was that kid who felt like an alien because you didn't quite fit and you couldn't quite understand what was going on around you. But one thing has been a consistent for me is the companionship of animals.
Yeah.
And I knew on an innate level that they were there to help and support me. And so from the age of 7, I knew I wanted to give back to them. But I didn't know why.
How interesting. That's probably why you're a vet.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. And now finding a charity that with Jan and Dogs for Autism, it is so important to be able to give children the ability to develop that relationship with animals, because it makes such a difference to their lives, and their understanding of their own autism, certainly as I've seen with my 9-year-old, makes such a difference to the way that he can navigate his life.
Yeah.
And what is it about golden Labradors and retrievers that
Yeah.
are so good?
Such good family
They're,
dogs, aren't
Yeah.
they're really good with autistic children, with anyone really, aren't
Yeah,
they?
well, they're very bright, they're very biddable, and they're very food motivated, as you can see with Jan.
They'll do anything for food.
He likes his treats. He likes his
It's
treats.
like me, but in dog form. I mean, I'll do anything for food. But they are just a really easily trainable dog, and they're also just a wonderful family pet. And
Yeah.
so they really do add so much to the lives of and the families that work with children and adults with autism.
Yeah, so nice.
They make a massive difference to people's lives, and the charity
That little
does
fella
incredible
turning up
work.
with your family, be just
I
over the
know.
moon, wouldn't you?
So gorgeous.
Oh, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And it is something that I think that the children, it allows them to focus on something other than themselves, and that responsibility as well is a really important element to try and improve their ability to sort of deal with all of the sensory input that the world does throw at them.
About.
He's looking for the treats, look.
Yeah, well,
He's not daft. He's
I
learned
said
already.
earlier, but you might be wondering why we haven't said the puppy's name yet. It's a very good reason. We're giving, I don't know if this is a good idea or not, we're giving you the chance to suggest a name. So, any ideas here?
do you know what?
What are you
I've
thinking?
always loved an old man name or an old
Yeah.
person name. So my dog was called Betty, and I loved that. And then we had a dog called Dave. It's a real English thing.
like
when
Dave.
I first came to England, my first cat that I ever treated was called Colin. Hilarious.
Brilliant.
So I really like. So I'd be going for something like a Nigel, you know, something like
Nice.
that. Yeah.
I remember
yeah, yeah.
once I was jogging and there was a staffy who was sort of misbehaving and his owner went, "Oh, Richard!"
Yes, amazing. I live for it. Yeah.
Staffy Richard!
No,
How about you, Jan? Can you think
I
of
reckon,
any
well,
names?
well, his pedigree name is Clanfield Stormtrooper, so
Oh, wow.
we're quite like
Stormtrooper.
Stormzy.
Stormzy's very good.
Stormzy.
Well, you...
What you got?
I think...
It's hard for me to look beyond Doggy McDogface,
don't
but I
know.
don't want that.
Doggy McDogface.
It's
to
it's
say
too
the word
long,
that
Dermot.
loud.
Yes.
I don't think we can call him Doggy McDogface.
I feel like he's a Jessie.
Oh, that's
Like
nice.
a Jessie. Do you know what I mean? Jessie. And look... Anyway, listen, you at home can head to our socials and comment on what name suggestion you think would be a good... And we'll go with one of your names. Ours are
We
rubbish.
might go with
yours
one
is
of our
too,
names.
Yours is too much. So, what is it?
I don't
Dogface?
really
Doggy
want- I
McDogface,
don't really
like
want
the
it to be
boat.
called
I love
Doggy
it, Boaty
McDogface.
McBoatface.
Yes,
Just
you
love
It's
it.
did.
just the word that came into my head.